Hi there, welcome to Island Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Cancer energy. And for this round, we're going to use this 10 card spread. And the whole thing is, if you harness high vibe Cancer energy, you want to be in deep, meaningful, authentic relationships with people who are just and fair and act with character and integrity. And so someone who aligns with your high vibe Cancer energy. But not everybody harnesses high vibe Cancer energy. There's people in the world who don't want to do authentic, loving relationships because that puts them at risk of being hurt. And some people would rather do anything. They'd rather be in relationships with people they don't even care for if that person's willing to stay in a relationship with, so long as that person doesn't require them to be more authentic or vulnerable. Or if some people have, some people love the world in their Cancer energy. That's what's most important in their life. And they want to be in relationships with other people who emotionally, in their Cancer energy, are invested more in these things of the world. Ego, image, money, materialism, addiction, codependency. You know, everybody's looking for people who are kind of on the same page as them. And we just need to see the truth about people instead of staying in denial. So we're also going to get out of the Mystic Souls Positive Personality Oracle what they want to add to the story. Whoa. Well, we had a big clump. I'm not going to take the whole clump, but starting it is masculine energy, present, powerful, grounded. So, the way I read tarot, the masculine energy can represent how we present ourselves in the world and the action that we're taking in the world. And we have to be balanced. The feminine figures in tarot can represent how we think and feel. And if you're someone who's very loving and nurturing, you also have to learn how to stand up for yourself. Quit indulging people in poor behavior. And some of you are doing that. And you have a strong presence, powerful and grounded. So, the overarching reason for the reading is the Sun card, which is about being illuminated to the truth, being authentically yourself, being loving, warm, encouraging, and supportive to yourself and to others. You've learned to be in life-giving energy. We all have the free will choice to operate from our ego. We could belittle and berate ourselves all day. We could criticize ourselves. We could find other people to hang out with that would love to belittle and berate us and criticize us. And we could all be manipulated by our ego and manipulated by other people. But high vibe people have learned to love themselves. I choose to offer myself love, compassion, forgiveness for the mistakes I've made so I can grow to my full potential. And I offer love and compassion and forgiveness to other people in my life. Life's all about learning lessons. Some people have learned to be more loving and just and fair and warm and encouraging than other people, and I accept the truth of it. And I give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me so the past doesn't keep manipulating me. Then we have the Strength card, which is also Leo energy, the 10 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. You tempered your more worldly, beastly, immature, indulgent nature, your fearful, insecure nature. You offered yourself love to do that. Maybe because you were overwhelmed and had a lot of inner conflict. And people have to make that free will choice. When I feel overwhelmed and feel inner conflict, or I could be dealing with people who are trying to overwhelm me, might be in shadowy 5 of Wands, which is also Leo energy, maybe really competitive, where you can be in relationships with people and you are like the competition they need to defeat. It's like, I thought we were friends. I thought we were in a relationship. Why am I being treated like, I don't know, someone you're trying to maybe manipulate or control or dominate over? That's not love. So it was overwhelming, and you did this work to get, the fives can talk about to get to a place of balance, and realizing you can't change other people where before you could have put a lot of work and effort to try to encourage other people to love and believe in themselves and to heal and grow and mature themselves. But we can't make other people change. And we need to see the truth of that and get out of our like God Savior complex and accept that people are who they are for their own reasons. If they're kind of more defensive to love, they are. They did the debate within themselves and they came out in favor of being defensive to love. Trying to change someone's philosophy of life, that could take years and decades, you know? Or if people are prideful or they're egotistical or they're manipulative or they're controlling, it can take years for people to work through why they even do that. And we just kind of need to deal with the truth and temper our ego. There could be people you wanted to invest in the Seven of Pentacles. People who'd like to maybe be in a relationship with you too. But you could think that they're kind of immature. The Knight of Wands is like an immature player. And you might know some people who invest in living more from their mind and their heart, are more invested in their more worldly, egoic view of life. That's kind of what drives them, motivates them. If they were to be in a relationship with you, it maybe because, I mean, if you're loving and nurturing and warm and supportive, it'd be great to be in a relationship with you. But they're just people who are more like, that would be great, but it's also more about my ego and my image and my status. Or I haven't learned to love myself and I have this heartbreak and I have this lack mentality and I don't love and believe in myself. So I want to get in a relationship with you for you to be the answer to all my problems. Some people's vices aren't like drugs and alcohol to feel better. Some people's vices are to get in relationships with people and you're like the drug or the alcohol. The only problem is when people look outside of themselves for things to be the answer to their problems, instead of doing this work within themselves to figure out why they're so overwhelmed, why they have so much inner conflict, why they're in maybe competitive energy in their ego, maybe in their fear or their insecurity or not feeling good enough. You know, they have to invest the time and energy to get to the truth and to heal from their own past pain and heartbreak and fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs and their ego nature and why they feel so competitive in the world and feel this need to keep up with the Joneses. And, you know, they have to work through that. Because sometimes if they don't and you get in a relationship with them, they think, well, no, you're the answer to making it look like, look, I've had a new beginning. Look, I've healed. Look, I'm not left out in the cold or rejected anymore. Look, you know, but then their issues can still bubble up. And then if their fear or their insecurity or their inner conflict or these things that overwhelm them or their past pain and heartbreak or kind of inferiority complex or something bubbles up, well, then you're the wrong person. You didn't do your job because your job was to make all those things go away. I was like, I can't make all those things go away. Those are things within you. But that can be how some people view life. No, it's not. They don't think it's their responsibility to do this work within themselves. They invest in relationships or indulge in these certain things that they think are the answer to their problems, if that is drugs or alcohol or making their life more about money and materialism. Whatever it is their way of viewing life as believing is the answer, instead of being illuminated to the truth that maybe they need to temper their more immature or worldly or materialistic or egoic or deal with some of their past pain and heartbreak, you know. But some people have some more lessons to learn in life than other people. We all could have invested in all these things of the world that we thought were going to make us happy. We've all been in more codependent energy. We've probably all overindulged in thinking the answer was outside of us, and we went and indulged in those things, thinking those things were the answer. And it didn't work out the way we wanted. And we were still heartbroken and feeling in lack and feeling left out in the cold and maybe left out in the cold. And it's like, When am I going to wake up and kind of smell the coffee? That this isn't working. Something needs to change. But the only person I can change is me. I can't change the world. So that's when people decide to invest in the truth and to put in work and effort to deal with the truth. And it's like shedding light and love on the lessons we've needed to learn, other people in our life, lessons they've needed to learn that maybe could have made them not be very just and fair and loving or kind. And it's offering love to the whole situation because love is the answer. And we offer love to ourselves and those other people kind of to heal. I just see the truth that everybody is where they're at, just like me. They had their own fears, insecurities, self-limiting beliefs, things that overwhelmed them. They're feeling left out in the cold. And it's all this process. And I don't want to keep repeating this pattern. So then in High Vibe Knight of Wands, Sagittarius is about higher learning and education. I am inspired to get in the driver's seat of my own life. The Chariot card, which is Cancer energy. I do have this dualistic nature, so does everybody else. Some people are more operating from their shadowy nature. Some people are more loving and giving and nurturing. Some people are more immature, bossy, controlling, prideful, egotistical. And I have this dualistic nature within myself, and I need to take the reins of my dualistic nature, love myself, temper my more worldly, egoic nature. The only person I can change is myself, and I am going to put in this work and effort. And when you realize how hard it is for you to forgive yourself about things you've done and to heal from your past pain and heartbreak, you can understand why other people turn their back to it. No, that's okay. I'll keep living from my mind. I'll keep making my life about these things of the world. I'll keep aligning with my ego nature. It takes a lot of work to get in the driver's seat of your own life. The Emperor is in the driver's seat of the Chariot, and the Emperor is us having learned those lessons in life. And the counterpart to the Emperor is the Empress, which is just, fair, balanced, loving, like Libra Taurus energy, where I put in the work and effort to love and believe in myself, to give myself the things I wish other people would give me, and to learn these lessons. I've let my heart run my life. I've let my mind run my life. I've let my more passionate or immature nature run my life. I've let the things of the world consume my life, and it kind of kept throwing my life out of balance. And when we learn those lessons and are willing to get out of our ego, admit we're a fallible human being who makes mistakes and we're going to make more mistakes, I just have to be willing to see the truth when I'm kind of driving my life off a little bit in the ditch, enabling poor behavior in myself and others, get back in balance within myself, temper my fears, my insecurities, my immature nature, my prideful nature, my competitive nature, my lustful nature, and keep moving forward in love and listening to my intuition to guide me, because that's how I can manifest my dreams into reality. So the Emperor in the Chariot is having learned lessons all four suits of the deck. And I'm not letting 1, 2, or 3 aspects dictate my life, because all 4 aspects, my heart, my mind, my creative inspired nature, my worldly nature, they're all equally important. And some people turn their back on their more creative, inspired, loving nature. Nope, not going to do that. I'm going to invest in my ego. I am sure this is the answer. Even though I might feel overwhelmed and I might have inner conflict, I might be very competitive in the world. And in their free will, they made the free will choice. I don't think aligning with my more creative, inspired nature, because that's Gemini energy and Virgo energy. In our free will, we have to choose kind of which aspect of ourself is kind of going to be in the driver's seat of our life. And some people said, nope, I am not going to align with my more hopeful, believing, crave, inspired, loving nature. I need to work with the world. That makes practical, logical sense. I need to be practical and logical. I want to have victory and success in the world. I want these things of the world. I'm really driven and motivated to have these things of the world and look victorious and successful. And some of the things that they could get invested in too is are going to cause them to feel heartbroken and feel left out in the cold and wondering, why didn't that work? I thought that was the answer. It's because love is the answer. Being inspired to learn lessons in life, to get out of your ego nature and your defensive nature, to get more balance within yourself, to love yourself, believe in yourself, quit making your life about competition and your ego and your image. How about you live your authentic life? How about we put work and effort into having stability and security in our life, but also be in loving, supportive, encouraging, authentic, warm relationships where we're being authentic. I mean, it's the energy that we all thrive best in. But some people also could view life like, well, I don't need to be in that energy. If I put this work and effort to look victorious and successful in life, loving people will come to be in a relationship with me. And that's how some people view life too. And then I'll create an illusion. A magician creates an illusion. I'll create the illusion that I live life and am motivated and inspired like they're motivated and inspired. That I'm more emotionally balanced between my worldly nature and my loving nature. But that's not the truth. But I'll create that illusion so you'll move forward with me in a relationship. And then as time goes by and you feel kind of heartbroken and feel left out in the cold and you're kind of wondering why, that's when you'll be illuminated to the truth that that's not really the truth of who the person was that you got in a relationship with. But then they're hoping that because it does look good by worldly standards and looks victorious and successful, and you're in a relationship with them or could have gotten married to them, that, kind of because of ego and image, you kind of want to maintain the illusion that my life is so wonderful. But you feel kind of heartbroken and left out in the cold because you had hope and faith and belief and you're putting a lot of work and effort to move this relationship forward, inspired by truth and love. But the other person is kind of defensive to that. They have this heartbreak and unwilling to maybe really connect in more with their emotionally intuitive, creative, inspired nature. So it can end up seeming like a more superficial and shallow relationship. And some of you have already been there and done that. You saw the truth. You did this work within yourself to move away, listening to your intuition, trying to manifest a new life, tempering your fears and your insecurities, even though it could feel overwhelming, to maintain balance within yourself, being careful about, people that you meet. Don't want any more immature players that are more about ego and image, that just want to indulge in a relationship or be another person that has that philosophy of life. And again, the Three of Swords can be about maintaining balance between your heart and your mind, to keep moving forward in truth and love, being inspired, that if I keep not indulging poor behavior in myself or in others and get myself tangled up in some stuff that really isn't on the same page as me, that just believing that, if I keep investing my time and energy into moving forward in this way and only investing more time and energy into effort with people who are going in that direction, and the other people in the world that kind of aren't going in that direction, they can be people I know, I work with, I visit with, but am I going to get in a more involved relationship with you? No. I'm going to keep moving that way with people who are moving that way because that's where I want to end up being. And I can only have my dream come into reality with people who are doing this work with me in this way. And I think as you're moving forward, there will be different types of people that want to be in a relationship with you. Some of them are high vibe just like you. They've invested in people that were kind of more in this shadowy energy and they thought, it was going to be great and work out too. And they left feeling heartbroken and feeling left out in the cold. And they did this work within themselves also. And now they're looking like you're looking as you're moving forward to find someone who's on the same page as them, which is you. And some of those people could tell you they want to move forward with you in a relationship because they think you're on the same page as them. Other people are going to like, hey, look at that person. They look like they're shining bright. The person I'm in a relationship with might not be very loving or nurturing, but they're also kind of in shadowy energy, kind of look at relationships as, well, I don't know, would this be good for my ego and my image? Can I manipulate this person? Will this person indulge me in my more ego way of being? This would make me look like I moved on. This would make me look victorious and successful. And I think those people, the wands can be about communication. The pentacles can talk about investing some time and energy. The swords can be about communication. I can meet people, talk with people, get to know people to try and listen to my intuition about what the truth is of what drives and motivates them. And for the people who I think are more immature players or more about ego and image or something, those people I'll keep moving on from. Just maybe a social acquaintance. Other people who I think are inspired to be in a more authentic, emotionally balanced, loving relationship, and they're balanced within themselves, and they've learned to love and believe in themselves, so their fear and their insecurity and their past pain and heartbreak and their lack mentality isn't still manipulating them. I want to be in relationships with people who've learned some of the same lessons I've learned, that have freed themselves from some of the things that have freed me, that I've freed myself from. And it's not to mean there's other people who are more bold and brave and confident and more free of things than we're at. But we can only live our life based on where we're at. But I don't want to I'm done trying to get other people to change. And I've learned to do this work within myself. It might be a little out of my comfort zone, because that could have been my comfort zone, was to try to be someone who kind of rejects people who want to love me, because that's different. Not used to that. I'm used to offering love to other people, to encourage them. But I've kind of gotten over that. I deserve to be in a relationship with people who treat me the way I treat them. And it might be a little different, but I will get used to it, because I don't want to keep repeating this pattern where I'm trying to get other people to love and believe in themselves. I am ready to be in relationships with other people who love and believe in themselves, who are loving and giving and motivated by love, because that is the truth of who I am, and that is who I want to manifest with. What's coming up? I'm going to pick those up. What's coming up for people who are in some high vibe Cancer energy that they might not see coming? The King of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Why? Because of the Tower. Well, for one thing, some of the people that you aren't going to move forward with, when we kind of speak our truth to people, like if I were going to invest in moving forward in this relationship in a new beginning, this is what I'm kind of motivated and inspired by, and what my truth is. And I think relationships are supposed to be about being just and fair, treating other people the way you want to be treated, where people grow and heal and mature themselves over time. And, it's about growing to your full potential and investing in your own unique talent, skills, and interests. And it's not about trying to manipulate people or control people or things like that. You can be surprised that some of the people that you could have thought were more emotionally stable and grounded are going to repeat some old past pattern that kind of reveals the truth of their foundation, and that some of them weren't who you thought they were. And because some of those people, if you tell them your truth, it's like, oh, yeah, I gotta leave. Yeah, I need to go back to the person I was in a relationship with, or go find someone else. I didn't realize that, you know, maybe in your lust and greed and ego, you just wouldn't want to indulge in a relationship. It's like, yeah, no, that's not what I'm trying to manifest. I'm trying to manifest an emotionally mature, deep, meaningful relationship with people the Tower can talk about being enlightened to the truth. People that aren't operating from their more worldly, egoic nature. And some of those people will be like, oh shit, this isn't some naive, gullible person. This person has learned some lessons from some people in the world, and they know to listen to their intuition. And they're intuitive about people like me that are kind of immature players that maybe just wanted to indulge in my ego in a victory. But I really wasn't planning to be a more loyal, committed person. It was just to indulge myself for a while. And you'll see some people that go indulge themselves because that really is more the truth of who they are. You just initially maybe weren't seeing the truth of it. But as you move forward, you're going to learn these lessons in life and being like your own best mother, father, coach voice in your head to reconcile yourself with the past, seeing the truth that everybody is where they're at. I don't have to take it personally. I can only take responsibility for how I contributed to maybe relationships not working out. I can only grow and mature myself, and I accept that everybody else is where they're at, and I'm not going to let it keep manipulating me anymore. I still have hope and faith and belief in my dreams. If I meet people that have certain traits and characteristics that could be like some people I've already known in my life, I already know I don't like being in relationships with people that are maybe bossy or controlling or immature or overwhelmed or operate more from their mind than their heart or stubborn or something, you know? No, I wish you peace. You're someone who stays in the friend zone. And I think as you do that, it could really shock some people because they could have thought you wouldn't love and believe in yourself, that you would take more immature action. People could have even done hurtful, unkind things to try to overwhelm you, to get you to repeat some poor past pattern, to drive your life off into the ditch. Maybe so in comparison, they would look like this stable, grounded person. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to let someone who is manipulative, egotistical, immature, stubborn, who did hurtful things to me to cause me to drive my life off into the ditch. And sometimes that's how other people just try to make themselves look like they're a more emotionally mature, stable, grounded person. I'm going to do these hurtful things to them so that they act this way. And then in comparison, I look like I'm the more stable, grounded person. And it's like, you know, I'm not going to indulge in my more egoic nature to feel better. I'm going to invest in putting in this work and effort to heal and deal with the truth and love and believe in myself to keep moving forward victoriously. And because of that, it could shed light on some people who maybe were trying to make you look unstable and ungrounded, hoping you would take action in that way. And then it would look like they were telling the truth about you, but the only reason some of you would have done that was because people being hurtful and unkind. And you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep moving forward. And then it reveals the truth of your foundation, that you are authentically who you say you are. You are this warm, loving, just, fair, balanced person. And you treat yourself that way. And it kind of reveals the truth of your foundation. And for some people, they don't like that. And it could really get them in their ego and in their competitive energy with you, because you do look like you're moving forward victoriously and successful in work, in relationships, in friendships, maybe a new marriage. And some of those people, because they're shadowy people, Again, when people were in relationship with you, they had the free will choice to be just and fair and truthful and honest and act with character and integrity. But because they have some lessons to learn, they could have decided to try to emotionally manipulate you and overwhelm you to get you to do the relationship the way they wanted. And you considered it, but you dealt with the truth. This person isn't acting in a just and fair, emotionally mature, loving way, and I'm not going to indulge them in their poor behavior, and I am going to speak my truth in love that I am moving forward in this way. If you want to move forward with me in that way, you can. If you don't, then my intuition is telling me I should detach from you anyway. And now some of those people feel stuck because they could have had this emotionally mature, deep, meaningful, loving relationship with you, but they weren't willing to do this work within themselves to figure out why why they're in their ego, why they're defensive, why they're competitive, why they make these things of the world or what they indulge in so important to them. Why don't they do the work to get more emotionally balanced within themselves? Well, they got some lessons to learn. And they're going to have to learn some lessons just like the rest of us had to learn some hard lessons in life. What's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Cancer energy that they don't see coming? The Knight of Pentacles, the Star, the Ace of Pentacles. Why? Because of the Six of Swords. Well, for one thing, when people kind of act trying to confuse people about the truth of who they are, present themselves as like emotionally mature, loving family people, but that's not the truth of who they are, they eventually have some high vibe people in their life that eventually see the truth. And they move away from these people because they realize their dream isn't going to come into reality with these people. And they see the truth and they go invest in other people who have kind of seen the truth of people like this, who are independent of them, and they go find those people to be in a relationship with. And some of these people could shine very bright in the world. They could be very successful in a lot of ways. And another thing they don't see coming is that, yeah, there's going to be other people that are going to get in a relationship with them. If they get in a relationship and try to create this illusion of being something that they're not, other people are going to see the truth and keep moving away from them. The type of person they might end up with that they don't see coming is someone who might say they're willing to invest in them, like, oh, their dream will come into reality with them, and that they're willing to move forward with them. But the reason that person might move forward with them is they also live more from their mind than their heart. And it would make them look like a shining star. It would be good for their ego and their image. But again, that could be what drives and motivates them. It's not love, but someone could try to present themselves as like either that, trying to present themselves as like a loving family person, but they're really more kind of about themselves or their defensive nature, just like this person. And then they're in a relationship with someone who is like themselves. And neither one of them are people who are very authentic, loving, and giving. They can all put on a good show. Look how wonderful our life is. But neither of them is being authentic. It's kind of superficial and shallow. But that is a just and fair relationship. Because if that's who they are, that is the type of person that they should be in a relationship with. Someone else who views life the way they do. It's an injustice for someone who is more about themselves or more about these things of the world to get in a relationship with someone where those things aren't the driving factor in their life and they're more about hope and faith and belief and love. That's an injustice. And some of those people will probably get in those relationships and feel overwhelmed and have a lot of inner conflict because they invested in someone who presented themselves like, I'll be this loving, nurturing person in your life. They might indulge them maybe in their ego or sexually, but they're not authentic and warm and loving, you know? So people start to wonder, why do I kind of feel heartbroken and left out in the cold? It seems like I have everything I could want. I have someone who wants to be in the relationship with me. They're into the ego and the image or the indulgence. And it's because neither of them are inspired actually by love. It's more, I'm overwhelmed, we should stay in a relationship. I'm heartbroken, we should stay in a relationship. I feel rejected and left out in the cold, let's be in a relationship. I'm in competitive energy with other people in the world, let's get in a relationship because I want to look like I've moved on. You know, it's just not based on truth and love. It's like getting in a relationship to make it look like they're victorious and successful, but love isn't the driving factor. And that other people end up seeing the truth, that it's more an illusion. And some of the people who maybe tried to say about some of the high vibe people in their life, oh, they're just more about ego and image and blah, blah, blah. Those people see the truth, that their foundation is an emotionally mature, deep, authentic relationship that they manifested. It's not living more from the mind than the heart. It's not, this makes logical, practical sense. Look at the illusion we've created. They're the real deal, and these people are kind of creating an illusion. So there you go, Cancer energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.